Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my brand new BMW driving business partners, Nate.
Your grandmother's downstairs waiting to take you home.
And Lisa.
Finish them off for me, will you?
Hold on. We need to hold on. Let's re-say our quotes, but like the people delivering the lines in this movie.
Okay.
Your
Nate.
grandmother's downstairs waiting to take you home.
Finish him for me, will you?
Well,
This movie sucked.
Yeah, well, it's in the name, Nate.
Yeah.
It's in the name. So, welcome again. Each week on Texas Podcast Massacre, we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, someone who's usually not what we would call a horror fan. This week, we are unfortunately trapped in our studio by some weird placenta-like shield thing. That we can't somehow break through.
We had an unsuspecting victim. Flushed it down the toilet.
It has not effaced enough. It has not. There's no dilation.
You just know everything now, don't you?
I do, from this movie. So we are going to be reviewing The Suckling by ourselves. So Lisa, you are the unsuspecting victim. A little bit. We all are unsuspecting victims.
I was like, everyone who watches this movie is an unsuspecting victim. Even if you know what the movie's about, it still can find ways to surprisingly hurt you.
It is.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it. So I don't want to jump the gun a little too much, although we have. just a skosh. So before we get into that, I do have a debate question for you this week.
We will see how the Lord favors you.
No, you dare not blaspheme. He will punish you. The jaws of hell will devour you. All of you. No.
All right, since it's us three, I thought we'd have a little more of a serious conversation.
Are we talking about abortion?
No. We'll talk about what is clearly an RNC propaganda film shortly. All right. So I think why this movie wound up on our list is because it was hailed from some horror movie.
Bloody Disgusting.
Was it Bloody Disgusting?
Yes.
Yeah, I said it was a gem.
An underrated.
Hold on, and again,
gem.
say.
It ended up on our list because Nate wants to torture me as long as he can before this baby comes.
Well, that's also fair. It's fair. So, my question really is, it was mentioned as an underrated, best, worst film ever. What I wanted to ask you is, what really makes a shitty film good?
Sure. So what turns it from just being a bad film into an enjoyable film?
Right. What is? Yeah.
Nothing.
No, I don't mean just but in general. Just in general.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
I
have never understood. No.
Room.
I've never understood the concept of the best, worst movie. They're horrible.
So you don't find any enjoyment in like something like The Room?
No. I have seen it.
Thanksgiving.
The second time I saw it was... No, first time I saw it was
Tourist
one
Trap.
time too... See?
Ginger Dead Man. Troll 2 with no Troll 1 and
So there is a Troll 1, but it's totally unrelated.
Yeah, it's not it's absolutely
It's called Goblin.
No, but they're both on our list for later in the year.
Yeah.
So get ready for that.
So that's
yeah.
I'm okay with crappy really shitty acting, and low budget kind of schlocky stuff. When it's just so absurd that it's great,
the absurd. Yeah, this movie seemed like if you're really trying hard and you fail, like that's better than just sucking, which is what these people did.
Yeah,
no one stood out. Like it was just terrible.
No.
Like the best actor in this movie was a handheld dildo.
Fair. I mean,
I don't hear any disagreement. So.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I just, I think about movies that are really like that are rated like that, right? Like like Troll 2, like The Room. I mean, The Room's classic, although it's not horror, but The Room's classic. I mean, a lot of Troma's stuff is like that, right?
Sure.
So there's Cannibal the musical, which you could sort of say it's horror based. You know, I know you do not care for it much, but there is Repo, the genetic opera.
Not a fan.
I am, though. So I guess that's great. So, okay, why doesn't Repo meet this, like, good, shitty movie, thing? It's just because Paris Hilton's in it?
I think I like the movies that were trying to be good and then failed more than the movies that lean into their, like, ridiculousness.
I think this was they're trying to be good.
Yeah, but, like, The Room was trying to be good.
You mean where you have a director who is totally out of touch with all sort of reality?
Troll 2, that's exactly the same thing. Ginger Dead Man, they do lean into it. They know it's bad. Because once you get Gary Busey, was this going to win some Oscars with Gary Busey? I don't think so. No. So I guess they lean it. Yeah. Maybe if the killer transforms into something, I'm more into it. Jack Frost, Ginger Dead Man.
So is Repo your favorite, worst, best, worst, whatever we're calling it?
What, in terms of horror movie?
Or just in general?
I mean, The Room probably at this point. But it's hard. You know, The Room is one of those ones that it's because, Nate, we've watched that so many times.
I've seen
over
it
the years.
At least 20 times.
Don't not include me in this. I've gotten sucked into watching that movie.
Yeah, but Nate,
how many times have you seen it?
All the way through?
Yeah, I mean most. You can round it.
As much as Mitch. I don't think he's seen it.
I've seen it a couple more times. Because when you were like out of town and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
As soon as Lisa's out of town.
That's what you chose to do with your time?
Just like binging The Room.
Basically. I study Tommy Wiseau, try to understand his alien, culture.
That's why I keep watching it, because it's undecipherable.
I did not. No, I mean, I don't know. That would The Room probably it. I like Repo. It is shitty. It's what I would call like a guilty pleasure. That you know it's bad,
but it's enjoyable.
There's no real
enjoyable to you.
If you had to, I see it as if I had to go and try to explain this movie to someone just off the street. There was no way to get through it without having to immediately go, look, trust me, it sounds stupid, but it's great.
So what about Hobo with a Shotgun?
Yeah, that's up there.
That falls into that category, right?
Yeah, that's another Troma, isn't it?
What is Troma?
Troma Entertainment is they're a movie company.
I know you're talking. Yeah,
so they did like Swamp Thing and stuff like that. Which Swamp Thing's incredible. Swamp Thing is a great movie.
I don't think I've seen Swamp Thing.
So Troma is who I have to blame for all this crap?
Not for this. What we're going to talk about.
That's why it sounds so close to Trauma.
Yeah, Troma is.
It's in the name.
They're sort of well known for really cheesy plot lines and just over the top absurd gore.
Yeah.
See, I'm a little bit less on the over the top absurd gore, but I think Hobo the Shotgun hit just the right balance for me. But other movies can get a little excessive, and then that's where I'm partially out. Yeah.
So Melissa, okay, so not horror. Is there a movie deep in your heart is a terrible movie that you still enjoy?
Hope Floats.
No.
Monster-in-Law.
It's not a terrible movie, though.
Oh, isn't it?
No, it's not. To each his own. You're the one that likes the genetic opera.
No judgment on that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you may
like not be the cinematic masterpiece you think it is.
I didn't say it was a masterpiece, but it's a good movie.
What do you think it is on IMDb?
Monster-in-Law?
Yeah.
It's probably higher than you think.
Well, that's not saying a whole lot.
Okay. IMDb?
I'll put the line at 6.5.
Oh, I'm below. I'm below that.
You take low?
Yeah.
I was going to say 6.
All right. Well, that's my best.
Is this the line? The Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah.
Let me put it. Yeah. So at 6, you would take the line still?
I would take the line.
You think 6
is a 5.5?
That's close.
With a 31 on Metacritic.
Oh.
Exactly. It's getting.
Well, okay.
It's a lot higher than some of the crap we've watched for this.
Admittedly, it's definitely higher than Troll 2.
That's fair. I think it's low. It is lower than Tourist Trap.
No,
it is.
No way.
Yes, it is.
But
up is down, cats and dogs living together.
To be fair, oh my god. to be fair,
6.2 tourist trap.
Romantic comedy. Romantic comedies tend to not do as well anyway from a ratings because very much alike.
Yeah.
So
not like horror movies though.
But horror movies push a little more are able to push more boundaries than romantic comedies typically do.
Are they though? Okay.
Unless you give me the movie that's from like The Office where it's Jack Black and
the old lady.
Yeah, the old lady.
Cloris Leachman.
Yeah. You give me that movie, then I'm maybe all in. So, all right. So, is there anything in these movies or in the horror movies that you have seen, is there any sort of redeeming values? Like, what are the things that you tend to find that you like more? So, you mentioned, Nate, a second ago, like for me, the grindhouse style over the top gore.
Yeah.
And kind of the like really like cheesy ass one-liners like what was that CSI Miami style one-liners.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that shit all day.
It's gonna be hard to win a beauty pageant without a face.
Yeah. Why didn't the cannibal clown eat this victim? He must have tasted funny. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What has this devolved into?
I don't know. We're also sleep deprived.
Yeah.
I don't know. So back to my actual question.
So transforming into things, I think I'm kind of have a soft spot for that. Gingerbread cookies, autonomous snowmen, whatever.
Okay. So
dolls moving.
Turkeys? No.
No, that's a bridge.
Snowmen.
Snowmen, sure. Turkeys, no.
I mean, what about you, Lisa?
Inanimate
in
objects,
a shitty movie, is there some sort of redeeming thing that you've at least like found some sort of joy?
Like,
in?
Yeah, when everyone dies.
That's a fair.
Right.
You like when they all just get straight up murdered?
I mean, because a lot of the point of most of these the horror movies at least is like these people are so awful.
Monster Law. Everyone gets murdered.
Shut up. These people are so horrible that you don't care. You start rooting for the monster because you're like
in this movie, I rooted for like the film to like have,
disintegrate
somehow, like a cigarette just like lights it on fire. I mean, it's like crazy. I don't know. That was just me personally, but yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on, but for you listeners, we want to know what you think. Let us know what makes a shitty movie great for you. Are y'all ready to get into The Suckling?
No.
I can't decide if like someone really hated a person named Ling, or if they named
Suckling.
Yes, like, Suck It Ling, like that, or is it just because they knew it sucked? Like, you know what? I'm just gonna
just lean into it,
just write it on the nose with his name.
Yeah. Well, all good. It's better than whatever answer we get in this movie, which, spoiler alert, you get none.
This movie was somebody's dream, you guys, okay? And they made it come true.
Not every dream needs to be followed.
Or we go with a standby of money laundering.
Oh,
yeah.
Something went down.
This movie proves that, like, you know what? Sometimes maybe you shouldn't have kids because they could grow up to be directors of this movie.
Oh, my God. With that said, we're going to jump into this week's movie of the week, The Suckling, a.k.a. Sewage Baby.
What is going on?
We're locked in.
Yes, trapped in a bordello, Mommy and Daddy must try and survive their wayward offspring.
What happened to her?
I mean to get out of here alive. The Suckling.
What the hell is this?
If you're looking for nail-biting action and suspense, see The Suckling.
Wait, what?
What is this?
Can you sue for false advertising for a trailer? Is that allowed?
I like how they use the knockoff deep voice guy.
Oh no, this is like F minus like guy.
So here I'm making sort of a unilateral decision because I haven't talked to you about this up in front of the show. We're gonna change up how we do this part of the movie review.
Sure.
The unsuspecting victim is going to have to give a synopsis of the movie before we start. So, Lisa,
Ooh, that's
if
good.
you had
I
to
like
explain what this movie's about
I like that.
to someone, if you were complaining about having to do this episode to someone, how would you describe this movie?
Suckfest 3000.
Suckfest 3000. Can you do it in a better movie voice than the guy in the trailer?
Suckfest 3000.
That was pretty good. That was
better.
Yeah.
It was better.
Sorry, so explain to the audience what this movie's about.
A girl is forced to get an abortion. The baby falls in a toxic sewer and seeks
Is it a
out
baby?
revenge.
Hold on. I got to point this out. Is it a baby, though?
The fetus
Okay.
falls in a toxic sewer and seeks out revenge on all the idiots of the world.
Yeah. It was the biggest second trimester abortion she's
Yeah,
ever
what-
seen.
what did that have to
You
do?
wouldn't
Also,
believe, Nate.
Did like a crisis center, like pregnancy hotline, fund this movie? Like,
Did
what
they
happened
seriously
there?
flush it down the toilet?
Yes.
It wouldn't.
Hold on.
I know.
There's a lot.
I know.
Before we get into Nate's news, but I just want to touch on this. The line before that is, take care of it the way I showed you how. So she had to be taught to flush it down the toilet. FYI. Nate, what can you tell us about
Very little.
this movie?
Very little.
Shocked.
None that's positive and very little in general. So I just want to say that, sometimes people do special things for milestones. We do not, because this is our 40th episode. And we really did not pick a good movie for this. This is terrible.
No.
This is
Wait. Did we do this one at 40 weeks? Because that's when
Oh my God, it
Wow.
almost works.
it lines up.
Almost works.
Perfectly.
wow. Well, maybe it was perfect then. All right, never mind. It's
Yep.
perfect. So this movie came out in 1990. It was set in 1973. It looked like it was from 1973. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty safe to say. 89 minutes seemed twice as long. IMDb is a shocking 4.6. And by shocking, I mean
That's
that
really high.
seems very high. Very high.
We need to start keeping track of the lowest scores and the
Sure.
highest scores.
Yeah.
Tagline, he'll always be ...
Sucking.
Mommy's little mutant.
Okay.
Yep.
It's not the worst tagline we've heard.
It's
on the
actually
show.
not too
The
bad.
person we can blame for this movie is Francis Terry. Shockingly, his only feature film
Oh, really?
that he directed, but was a producer of the movie Head Games, and in a hilariously ironic twist covering both sides of the coin, an actor in a movie called Flesh Eating Mothers. So he's got the fetuses.
I think he's working out some shit.
He's working out. This guy has been to therapy. I'm just going to throw that out there. This guy's gone to a therapy session. I found two people on IMDb for this movie that had photos. So those are the people I'll talk about. And one is Antoinette Green, who is Bertha, the one who shot herself in the head because she felt bad.
Mm-hmm.
She was in this movie and then decided, you know what? I'm going to take a 17-year gap acting after this. So I won't be in a movie until 2007, but is still doing projects today. So that's nice.
Good for her.
For her, yeah. And then Frank Rivera, a.k.a. Axel, the insane person in the movie. You might remember him from such cinematic classics as Recoil, High Voltage, Project Eliminator, and Sasquatch Mountain. And that's it. That's all I got. I got nothing.
Sasquatch.
I'm gonna
Mountain.
end on Sasquatch Mountain.
As one.
No budget?
does.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. They pawned like a microwave or something. I don't know what the budget is. It's not great.
Yeah, there's. Yeah,
How much? Okay, sorry. How much do you guys think the movie was made for? I would say like $100,000.
That seems high.
10 grand.
10 grand.
I mean, well, it depends on how much it costs
Special
to make
effects.
that creature.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying 90%
Yeah.
special effects.
No,
What,
but
10,000
special effects,
for the rest.
practical effects are super cheap, especially with that.
I said they had to pay someone to make the creature. That's probably the most expensive
Yeah.
part.
I would say just shy of 100,000. I think 100,000 is close.
I think the movie was filmed in an actual like bordello, so they probably saved money there.
They filmed
but
the asylum scene in a racquetball court.
Brilliant.
It is absolutely a racquetball court.
Brilliant.
As a man who's played a lot of racquetball in college.
The ending is basically like one served over the cuckoo's nest. It's basically what the ending is. That's terrible. Wow.
Yeah, so this movie...
Where do you even start? I guess you could start...
So did we go to the record for the world's shortest movie review?
So I think that the director did one really smart thing. He put the date that the movie takes place as April 1st, 1973, basically telling you the joke is on you. If you're watching this movie, I already got you.
Sucks for you.
Gotcha. Like that, they threw that in there as I wrote down, so it's basically like a Star Wars-esque text crawl. That's like way worse.
Yeah.
To start this movie.
That took forever.
And in one of the quotes is the most brilliant investigators spent years trying to solve this gruesome mystery, but to this day are still baffled. And I said those same people went on to investigate Obama's birth certificate. So I thought that. Yep.
Oh my God.
That's the level that we're going to in this movie. So that's great.
Well, it makes sense because this movie felt like it was made by the RNC. So
It did. One of the things I didn't like is they put way too many commas in that first thing.
Yeah, why
just
was
grammatically?
that so
Just
long?
grammatically, I had some notes. But when people weren't talking, it was the best part of the movie. So
I did love that the movie the events of this took place on April Fool's Day.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we got you. Like, the first line is
Got
April
him.
1st. That's the very first
Got him.
the text. Like, got him. That's it. I don't know, Lisa. I'm dying to hear your thoughts. Overall thoughts on this movie.
It's horrible. And it's sad because going into it, like, I was like, it had a decent premise.
The premise is very unique, for sure.
Yeah. I was like, cool. This fetus deserves to kill every one of these people. But then I didn't realize the fetus would be this horrible, mutant, giant, buck-tooth claw thing.
It did have buck teeth.
Okay, so this movie does take place in Baltimore. Is that correct?
I don't.
What's that got to do with it?
Could be anywhere. I don't know.
Considering the accents, I could not place what they were all going for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They definitely did not spend money like Bram Stoker's Dracula did on accent lessons.
Well, they didn't have a talent like Keanu, so what were they going to do?
I'm trying to think who the Keanu of this movie is.
There's
not one.
God, there's not.
Yeah, there's not one. First. That's the first way you know where the movie's not good. There's no Keanu Reeves character.
So, Lisa, at what point? We're not going to be down the.
How long into the movie until you gave up?
Oh gosh, about 5 minutes in, maybe. Well,
I don't know.
5 minutes. That's right when you see the boobs from the nurse.
Yeah.
In the dream
when
sequence.
you see that and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
And then it was like two dreams. It was like a dream within a dream within a dream. I was just turned to Mitch. I was like, Inception? What's going on?
I mean, I was starting to fall out of it with the bad acting, but I was like, I'll give it a chance. Lionel Richie opens the door at one point, and I'm like, I'm back in. This is incredible.
What was his actual character name?
Who the hell knows? I called him Lando and Lionel alternating time. depending on what was going on in the scene.
You know the movie's great when the hero, I was saying hero very loosely, but the most heroic person in the movie is the guy who punches a woman just straight in the face.
He punches a prostitute for shooting someone.
This movie.
Now, okay. So let's talk. I mean, we don't need to spend any more time on these characters than
no. Well, let's go through who the characters are really fast.
Yeah. So okay, so they're I don't even know I don't even have names.
Who cares? I don't know the names either.
So okay, so there's the mom and the dad.
Mom and the dad.
The mom and the dad of the aborted fetus.
I don't think you call them mom and dad.
The trailer we just listened to just did. The movie itself admittedly called him that.
Oh, that sounds weird, but sure. Mom and dad. Okay.
Mom and dad. A reluctant dad at that.
And there's Big Mama. Who runs the prostitution ring /
is from Georgia. Because she keeps saying, child, relax. Child, please.
I mean, you're the southerner in this group.
It made me upset.
I thought you were going to give me a city name. Like Oh, that's Macon. Like I thought you were gonna for
I
sure.
would have
like,
said Savannah.
Got it.
Savannah.
Savannah.
That's
Okay.
where I would have.
Okay.
Savannah.
So that's Big
Yeah.
Mama.
Sounds like
she runs
molasses
the
rolling out
brothel.
your mouth.
She runs the brothel slash.
Does she? Is she the doctor? The whatever.
She runs the brothel.
Big Mama, she
and
runs
she's
the whole
also
thing.
she's also an amateur surgeon. So.
I feel like Aretha Franklin
Is she an
singing.
amateur though? They said she's done hundreds of these.
She's a semi-pro.
No.
She's a semi-pro surgeon.
God. She's with her trusty coat hanger. This okay. Here's my thing with this movie. This movie screamed reefer madness to me.
Yes, it did. This is like, hey, don't get an abortion, or else
All this
everything will go wrong.
Shit is going. Yeah.
You'll have dreams. Your throat's getting
The
slit.
only people who get abortions are these prostitutes who, funnily enough, aren't actually banging anyone. They're well, I mean, not in a traditional sense.
Sure.
Yes, okay, so you have mom and dad. Dad is looks like a typical high school jock.
Well, the mom looks like Meg Ryan before she learned that hairdressers existed.
Yeah, like a really a poor man's, nay, a hobo's Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, and then the dad. I call him dad. It's so weird, but he's like off-brand Steve from Stranger Things.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Don't do that to Steve.
Yeah, well,
Like Steve.
I mean that's basically who this guy is.
It's upsetting because it's true.
Yeah.
So we have Lionel Richie, who is sort of like the doorman / security /
Yeah.
kind of bouncer.
Everyone wears a lot of hats.
Yeah.
In this brothel, a lot
Lionel
overlap.
Orlando does a lot. I feel like he's Lionel when he's the face of the house, and he's Lando when he's blacking out prostitutes in the back.
Yeah, and then I guess let's just talk about this scene that happens. I don't care. Who cares about the characters? And there's the fetus.
And a number
That's a
of
character.
prostitutes and one John. Now, is that which scene are you going to talk about?
The scene with the dildo and the propeller hat.
Okay, so
Oh my god.
there is at least one John that survives. I think it's this John we're about to talk about.
Okay.
Is it the same one? Is it that guy that lost throughout the whole movie?
Yeah, but he dies though.
Well, he does, but we're saying we were confused on if that was the same
Wait,
guy.
like who was it that got shot?
That's the guy. No, that's another guy. That's another guy.
Okay.
All the rich people in this town, again, apparently Baltimore.
Why are you
coming
taking
here.
your Beamer to
Yeah.
the hoe house?
Yeah.
I don't.
If you're trying to be discreet about it, you take a bus.
Take
You take the 5 line down to Murphy Street.
and then you go over the Brown line and you stop at the brothel junction.
Well, speaking of the brown line, we see this dude. He's wearing like one of those like little beanies with the propeller on it, and he's holding a dildo on a lollipop stick.
Yeah, that is excessive.
And this one girl is starting to dance seductively in her full dominatrix outfit.
Yep. Gets the whip out.
Gets the whip out, drops her top inexplicably.
Yeah, it's like the second topless scene in like the first 7 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a whole dream sequence to talk about too.
Yeah.
Let's come back to that. And then she just proceeds to start just like...
No, she grabs the dildo with the whip.
Oh, that's right.
Which is impressive.
That was the only impressive thing in this whole movie.
All right. Okay, we got at least on one thing. We got her on.
Only impressive.
Let's see if we can get a second one throughout the talk, but we got one at least. Then, oh God, the guy bends over. Obviously, the dildo is getting used. He's so excited, like somehow he has like magical like telekinesis powers where he's so excited. The top on his propeller hat, which why is that getting worn? Like shoots off.
No.
I don't even. It's like an X-Men.
Yeah.
I don't know who this person is.
And then she's just sort of just standing there holding it while he's just doing... He's doing a lot of work for, I assume, what has to be a moderate amount of money that he's paying for this.
Yeah, this place does not look like it was a lot of money.
Yeah, no, not. It wasn't an upscale.
And then her friend walks in and is like, hey, your grandma's here, so you got to go.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, can you take over for me? She's like, whatever. But instead of using
that's
that...
just like a paddle with like nails in it or something.
Nails coming out of a paddle?
Yeah.
Hey,
First of all...
he knew what he signed up for.
Look,
I just want to say the nails are clean. Can we confirm the nails are clean?
No judging anyone's personal kink or whatever. I'm just saying wardrobe choice, weird. I didn't know they made dildos on a stick.
You learn something new every day.
Learn something new every day.
This movie was really...
The stick had the controls. I'm just saying.
I didn't even think.
I don't think it wasn't that fancy. It was not that fancy.
I didn't even think about this.
It looked like just like. It looked like a chocolate bunny, except instead of a bunny, it was a dick.
Like, what is
because
this?
then she's walking back towards him. It's moving.
Yeah?
Yes.
I thought that was her moving.
No.
For like one split second,
moving.
I'm like, why is this guy holding a popsicle? Like,
it looked like a chocolate bunny, except instead of a bunny, it was a penis. That was literally like you'd get this on Easter.
Oh man!
Don't say that. That's disgusting.
It's not Easter.
It's April Fool's.
There's a rising again joke there that I could use. But
okay, let's move on.
just
all
gonna
right.
go for that.
Yeah. So one scene I want to talk about that. You start this whole movie off with this dream sequence.
She's in the hospital.
Yeah.
She's the only survivor of some crazy calamity.
Yeah.
Remember how I said I gave up 5 minutes into the movie?
Yeah.
It was the dream sequence.
I just gave up 5 minutes into this review.
Oh man.
It's fair.
But yeah, this dream sequence is she dreams that there's the topless nurse. She's dreaming of topless nurses, really? I don't think so.
That's what you're gonna get hung up on.
The rest of the movie, 100% factual. This is the only Neil deGrasse Tyson is like the rest of the movie totally scientifically accurate. This is the one part that's not. There's a straight razor.
I'm gonna bet a heavy amount of money Neil deGrasse Tyson has not seen this movie.
I 100% agree. There's a straight razor, like murderer, like cutting her or doctor cutting her stomach. Then there's another Inception-y move where her throat gets slashed. I wanted to ask you guys this. How would you describe the blood used in this movie? Like what condiment are we talking here?
Ooh, I
was gonna say jelly, like runny jelly.
Well, I was gonna say like a mixture of ketchup and jelly.
Ketchup and jelly, okay.
Like not full, like they've watered down the jelly maybe with ketchup or something to make it like a little more.
It's like the Frosty of ketchup and jelly.
It's got texture, but it's more liquid.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Lisa? How would you describe the consistency?
I think y'all just spent way too long on trying to figure out what the fuck this blood is.
What else were we supposed to do during this hour and a half?
It's probably ketchup.
But all the blood was all the same. That's the problem. Like the blood was always terrible in every scene.
It's probably ketchup.
And let me just say, there's a lot of dripping in this movie. Like everything was just kind of dripping everywhere. Did you notice that?
I did not, Nate.
I didn't want to look at the actors. All right.
Wait, which scene are we talking about?
The stuff covering the windows?
Yeah, well, there was that, and there was like the sewer. Like everything's just like gooping and like dripping.
Sewers drip. I mean, they're sewers.
It looked like it was like freaking like 1,000 pounds of honey, toxic waste.
Why is toxic waste just like sitting? Yeah, the honeycomb of toxic waste.
Exactly.
Why is it just sitting outside this house? First off,
they're in the bad part of town.
Okay, so
it gets dumped.
Okay, hold on. Let me go through the actual plot here for people who have already tuned out, which Lisa practically has already. She's on the podcast.
Anyone who tries to watch this movie is already tuned out.
Mom and Dad, I hate that name. Go in. They clearly want to get an abortion, and they're both young, and they go to this.
She doesn't.
Well, she doesn't.
She
absolutely no. She absolutely did not want to go.
She walks in
because this is like the 70s, and
so Roe v. Wade was this year. It was 1973. It was the same year.
She repeatedely told that asshole, "I want to leave. I don't want to be here."
She said multiple times.
And then she walked in. She still walked in. She goes, "You ring the doorbell then." And they did, and then they walked in.
Well, way to victim shame.
I'm not a victim. I'm just saying she was
kind of are.
She was also partially there. But she
got fucking drugged.
She got drugged. I mean, that's true. You can't deny that.
How dare she go somewhere with her boyfriend who is insisting?
I guess it's all. Okay, I'm gonna say this. It's all the boyfriend's fault. I'm gonna say.
Oh,
this,
for sure.
It's all Steve's fault. I'm gonna call him Steve from now on.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's all Steve's fault. Steve takes her to this place. It's a brothel / semi-pro surgery center.
Illegal.
Yeah, illegal. And then, she gets an abortion, and then they dispose of it in very non-medically safe ways. I'm going to just put this in the nicest way possible.
We already said
means
earlier
flushing it down the toilet.
Yeah.
And then the toilet drops this thing, which, I mean, how big this thing is. So they had to say, like,
do you remember the movie Enter the Fist? Or Kung Pao.
Yeah. Yes,
you know that scene where the baby is rolling down the hill at the very beginning?
Yeah.
That's what this reminded me of.
Yeah.
That's
it was Kung Pao meets Finding Nemo. It's what this was.
Oh my God.
It just rolled forever.
But like, there's no way, like the size of the fetus,
No.
which they artificially inflated because like, oh, this is the biggest. I kind of like that. This is the biggest second trimester fetus I've ever seen.
No.
They had to do that because they knew they're going to make it huge. First of all, no way that fits down a toilet. Can we all agree on that? Like this has got to be like they converted a tub like into a toilet or something.
I like how they took her upstairs. They're like, we're going to take her upstairs to rest after, which just means throwing her half-heartedly on the couch. She's fine.
Yeah. Semi-pro. Not 100% professional. Anyway, then the fetus is in the sewer and convenient shot to this like oil drum that's leaking like honey yellowy liquid. And then the liquid drops on it.
You're not supposed to give babies honey before they're 2, so
Well,
I'm just saying.
PSA to everybody. We can stop the review. Don't give kids honey before they're 2. And then
Look what could happen.
And then some of the toxic honey drops on the fetus, and then it starts enveloping the house. Not sure how that works. And then goes from like being, like a couple pounds to being like
a full-grown adult.
Yeah, the creature from like the Whack Lagoon or something. That's it, and that's the rest, and that's like the majority of the movie.
Yeah,
and then there's brothel politics happening in the middle. Basically like more people die from like humans than do from the actual monster in the movie.
It's about half and half. I feel like
it's worthless.
It's a relatively
worthless. It's like 2/3 the way through the movie before like the thing even existed. It was pretty terrible.
Yeah. I find it interesting that this little creature is human for a bit and then it just starts sprouting like claw hands.
I think they were going for like a thing.
Yeah.
Like the thing. They're like, okay, we're going to make it like the thing. It's going to mutate. It's going to be grotesque. It's going to be scary coming at you.
They were trying to steal, because they were trying to go for an alien
There was
theme
one scene that was specifically alien.
Yeah,
With
when
a
they're in the
zoom
basement.
in. Yeah, they zoomed it in. Yeah.
And really, really cheap prosthetics on that dude's face when he had the burn. Like, it was very easily the Kleenex and liquid latex.
Yeah.
And just whatever that blood stuff was on top of it. But you could see it, like, moving real shittily.
Yeah, it was moving real shitty. So
like Halloween cost, like, the level of costuming and effects was on par with, like, a Halloween party, like your friend, someone who takes Halloween a little more seriously than others. That level,
but it's not good at it.
Right.
It has a lot of enthusiasm.
Right. A lot of You have the heart you have the heart in the passion. You just don't have the talent.
Exactly.
That's sort of where this falls.
Do you think this movie was the inspiration for Pickle Rick?
No.
Why?
Because he had the thing that falls down into like the sewer and has to fight its way out.
But he doesn't get mutated. He builds that.
I know. I'm just saying instead of the mutation, like
I would have preferred had the fetus been Pickle Rick, like had built itself up into
the pickling.
Yes, the brining.
Lisa has never facepalmed more during this episode.
The ending of this movie.
Holy shit! Wow.
Lisa's ready to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you. So of the kills that happened, of the different deaths, was there one that maybe you did actually like? Let's try to find some positives about this movie.
So, like Steve, this movie blew its load too early. Yeah. The best kill is the umbilical cord coming out of the toilet, grabbing the lady's face, and then pulling it so hard against the toilet that it decapitates.
Yeah, ripped it straight off.
That's one. That's the first one.
They use the umbilical cord a lot, though. They like overuse it.
But that was the first one. See, that was before
I know, but I'm
overused.
saying after that, they just kept going back to it. I'm like, you can't think of something.
It's kind of like,
hey, fetus, get some new tricks. That's what you're saying.
Basically, this fetus is like a kid who plays a scorpion on Mortal Kombat all the time. It's just
button mashing.
Get over here, get over here,
spamming the
get
move.
over here, over and over again. Yeah, that's basically what it was.
If Scorpion could also like make his like body cover all windows, like this parts of it's like almost Spider-Man-esque shooting of like webs across all of the exits.
Oh my god, Lisa, was there a death that stood out to you, or
no? But I honestly, I was thinking about it, and this movie would have been better served if instead of I feel like if it had come from a psychological perspective, and it started to make people like feel things, or like if the other prostitute Candy, who said, "Oh, I've done this like 3 or 4 times," if she started to feel bad,
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Oh, I can't, I'm such a horrible person," or whatever. Like if that sort of thing had happened, because it was just all over the place. It was like the fetus kills some of them, they kill each other some of the time, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, you wanted like the Suckling meets Rosemary's Baby,
Kind of
like a psychological. Like, I'm in my head, I'm freaking out about this.
Yeah.
Well, that is not what this movie was.
No.
That is for sure. What about you, Mitch? What's your favorite?
When Steve got killed, I thought it was well deserved. And I mean, they say it's a pretty brutal kill for him, with him getting like pierced right through his shoulders, lifted up, and then eaten. I guess, I don't know. They never really show it actually like killing anyone.
No, they don't. They cut away, and then he literally goes in the movie. He literally goes, "Well, I guess I'll go downstairs and get killed now."
Yeah,
like I think that's a verbatim quote. I don't think I've ever heard a person say, "I'm gonna go get killed now." Maybe like in a scary movie, like a movie, but never in an actual horror film.
One thing I did kind of geek out about on this movie, and I don't know if you caught this. At the very beginning, when we're seeing the bedroom, did you notice any particular items in that room?
No, but to be fair, I was too bothered by like the crooked angle of the camera.
There was an extreme close-up of a Raggedy Ann doll.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Annabelle.
My Annabelle prequel.
This is the first Conjuring.
Wow.
So is the thing in Annabelle the revengeful fetus?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the demon.
Yeah, that's the
there
demon.
There you go.
Wow, we solved it.
We did. Good job, team. Our work here is done.
That makes me like The Conjuring even less. Less than
I saw the. I mean, again, Raggedy Ann's not like that shocking, but this movie was made in 1990.
Yeah,
and then they do a close up, and then they do a close up of a crucifix right after. I'm like, that's a weird thing to do. Have a close up shot. Some other things that I look. I'm trying to find some positives for folks listening.
That's good of you.
One of the things I thought that made me chuckle is there was a scene where one of the guys they've kind of broken through the amniotic sac thing that they're surrounded by.
What?
He's just throwing out terms because he knows them all now.
Mitch is trying to find a fetus in a haystack right now.
I agree with this interpretation.
Well.
But anyway, so he. This guy, the business guy, is going down, trying to solve. And when he's getting murdered,
I called him Mr. Dildo.
Yeah, Mr. Dildo. But Mr. Dildo is getting murdered.
Okay.
They do this thing where the camera pans a close up of each of the 4 remaining survivors' faces. They go from right to the left, like 1, 2, 3, 4. They cut back to the guy. Then they come back to number 4, and they go 4, 3, 2, 1 again. Very, just the editing in this movie is so spectacularly bad, and I love they give the grainy feel of it to try to make it seem like it's more like a found footage, real,
Well, it's from 1990. It's not like it was like a blaxploitation film or a spaghetti western or something. I mean, it's literally from 1990.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, now I will tell you what sucked hardcore about this movie: the music, the score. The music was the drizzling shits. It was so bad.
At one point, they go, "We're going to class this up with like some like tensiony piano, like it just like 3/4 of the way through the movie. Like, let's just throw like some like creepy piano in there." It's like, why?
Why? Yeah.
Why? It was terrible.
It was just so bad.
That was really bad.
Would you say this was truly the worst little whorehouse in Baltimore?
I don't know. Seemed like it might have been cost effective. I don't know.
That's
the only.
It had at most 2 to 3 patrons at a given time. So let's talk about this ending real quick.
I don't know.
Let's just talk about the very ending. So Steve is murdered. You have this, the fetus monster recognizes its mother and starts charging at her
Yeah.
And then changes
And then
forms.
devolves. Now, this is the thing. Well, and we skipped the point where they try to make the world's worst battering ram, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked eventually.
To be fair, it did work.
The battering ram in Home Alone was better than this battering ram. Like the paint cans coming down from there. But yeah, but not only does the fetus recognizes its potential mother, I guess, runs at her, and then devolves like going into the magic school bus, like shrinks in,
cruising on down Main Street.
Exactly, and then just goes right back in her, a la Alien-esque again. There's a little bit alien influence there.
Yeah,
and then she goes insane.
No. Yeah.
But that's not the end, though.
It's not the end.
Oh, it gets worse.
Then we go to the racquetball court. I mean, the asylum.
If you're crazy, sometimes you need physical activity.
So that's like a double, triple twist. Because two of the mental patients are one of the prostitutes and the John.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Candy is one of the mental patients.
No, Candy's dead.
No, she's dead. They're all dead. She's the only one that survived.
The one that
she's the only one that survived.
It looked like they were pulling a twist, and a few of the mental patients were actually the people from.
No, they say multiple times she was the only survivor.
That would have been clever.
Well, they did pull that twist. They thought one of the prostitutes was dead, and then was banging on the door, and then Bertha was shot with the gun. And was like, oh no, I thought she was dead, and then she killed herself. I mean, there was that, but
what we do see first, we see the Penn and Teller of doctors. One guy who's extremely tall, and one guy who is a 50-year-old intern,
Peter Worsledge.
Yeah, I mean, and
he's very
when
short.
you first see him, they have these shades drawn, so you see a tall doctor, you don't see his face, but you do see the shorter doctor's face. Why would they do this?
That shorter doctor has a quote that I loved. The big doctor. Big doctor says, "Oh, did you hear about the brothel thing? This lady's here from that." And he goes, "Being an intern keeps me rather busy, so I have not heard of it." Literally in that voice. I think I might have improved it.
Maybe. I don't know. So
These doctors are terrible.
So the last scene you do catch is a couple of the orderlies go and they pick her out from the psych hall, I guess.
Yeah.
The psych court.
The psych court.
Pull her out and then starts
raping her.
Yeah,
starts raping her.
Raping her, yep. And then he is brutally murdered by the monster.
Yeah, the umbilical cord comes back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Killing them.
So, okay, so my last question
that's the end of the movie.
So, yeah, so my question for both of y'all really is, I forgot it.
What the fuck is this movie?
Well, besides that, so what is that? How did you interpret this ending? So does the creature go back and get reborn?
The ending is, if you would have kept your baby with you in the first place, it could have been better for you and protected you, like it did at the end. But then but now you're crazy.
Once again, not her fault, Nate.
I know. I'm just saying that's what the movies say. So don't get an abortion. Call this crisis center. There's probably like at the very end of like the
defund Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, at the very end of like the credits, which I did not stay for. I'm assuming you guys didn't either. There's one phone number. There's one phone number right at the end.
The moral of the story is don't sleep with a douchebag. That's what it is.
Yeah. Sure, if you want to go back farther, I mean, yeah, that's a great lesson.
She never asked the question, how does Steve know about the whorehouse?
Exactly. How old are these people?
I mean,
are they like 20?
It's an illegal abortion clinic, so they don't advertise. So how?
Come on down to Big Mama's house. We'll take care of you. I don't know.
And then she uses the coat hanger to hang up her lab coat. I think that was the point where I said, fuck this movie. It still has shit on it. Like she's like peeling it off. It is horrible. This movie is. There's some things about being offensive, and being like shocking. This is just in poor taste. I thought
it was
at least that part.
It was in poor taste. I agree.
All right,
Lisa, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, let's end this.
She wants to terminate this episode.
I will say one thing. Because this is as low budget as it got.
Oh, yeah.
When the John goes through the birth canal.
Yeah.
And they just used ribbon, or not ribbon, but string. I was like, they couldn't even put anything. It's just let's show a bunch of string. That'll be fine.
No one involved in this movie has ever been around for a birth or with a woman, I think, at any point.
Man.
Yeah. Nate, any final thoughts for you?
I just want to say one quote and then I'm done. The quote from one of the prostitutes. So one of the prostitutes is, I guess the rich dick was I don't know, beating her up or doing something inappropriate, and she freaks out. The Lando Calrissian's like, hey, I'll take care of it. And then she goes and gets a gun and shoots the guy, and then the prostitute later says, guy comes here to get his penis sucked, gets shot off instead. End quote.
Yep. And with that,
perfectly encapsulating that.
And with that, I think we'll wrap up the review for The Suckling. But before we get to our final cut, I do have to ask, what would you have done differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why? Why?
Now, again, besides not watching this movie.
Oh, man. Well, crossing first one off.
Because, I mean, when I was coming up with mine, it was, I could, what would I have done differently? Read a book, gone out for a walk.
Yeah. Hugged my loved ones.
Sat in empty silence for an hour and a half. Any of these things more productive.
Yeah.
So eliminating all those, what would you, as a character in this movie, have done differently? Nate,
if I was Big Mama, I would have given my workers health insurance. These sex
not where I thought this was going to go.
Yeah, these sex workers need health insurance. I felt bad for all of them. They were getting treated wrong. The things they were doing seemed like they could get diseases. I really just wanted them to be taken care of.
Okay.
That was one. The second one is I would take all the dialogue from this movie, spend all the budget of the movie on buying the rights to really horrible films for almost no money, a la Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
And then just taken dialogue from other movies and replaced it from all the spoken dialogue from all the actors. Because it would have sounded way better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lisa, what do you do differently?
I already said it. Don't sleep with douchebags.
Fair.
Nothing but trouble.
Yeah, wrap that shit up is what I would have said.
Are you talking about the aborted fetus? Or are you talking about?
But either way, that and just so you don't get in the situation to begin with.
Oh man.
Leave some room for Jesus. Keep. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's what I would have done differently. Awards. Nate, why don't you just start us off on awards?
I am going to give the Suck Shank Redemption Award to the dildo guy. When he's
Wait, what? I thought you were going to give it to the fetus.
When he's crawling through. No, when he's crawling through the thing, it was basically Shawshank Redemption. I thought that.
Don't you dare compare that
One of the
amazing
worst
movie to
movies of
this.
all
You should have given it to the dildo.
He crawled through a lot of shit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I really fucked that up. I apologize. That. Oh god. I want to rotate. I have a couple more, but I'll rotate to somebody else here.
All right, Lisa.
Lisa, any awards?
Yeah, A Mother's Love Never Dies.
Nice.
Because, that kid knew its mother.
Doesn't it though? Because she looks pretty dead inside at the end of this movie.
She got her baby back.
She got her baby back. Thank you for joining me on that, Lisa. I appreciate it.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they used for the blood. It was barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Got it.
You knew I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Man, I struggled with an award for this one.
You struggled to get an award?
I said I just gave poor man's pumpkin head to this fetus.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
It's not a very good award, and I apologize.
Okay, I have a couple awards. I gave it the Pearl Jam award to the fetus because it's evolution, baby.
Oh my gosh. Cut him off, Mitch. Cut him off.
I need the Oscars
you can't,
walk off music.
You can't cut my mic. And I you know what? That's it. I'll stop there. Right. I have a lot more bad jokes.
Oh, God. All right. Well, that leads us then to our final segment.
Final cut.
Lisa.
Man. So let's set the stage here. So like reviews you've given for other terrible movies. What was Thanksgiving? What did you give Thanksgiving? Like
I don't
a 1?
even know.
Was it a 1?
Did I give it a 1?
Or was it higher than that?
I think you gave it a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, 1 or a 2. Jack Frost was, I think, a 1.
Sure.
1 or 2. And then Tourist Trap was like a negative 100, but a 1, basically.
I think I gave Tourist Trap higher than that.
You gave it like a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a little more favorite with Tourist
Trap. So in putting it in context there, where does that rank? Where does this first
Can I give it the first 0 ever? No?
I think you have to technically give it a 1, I think. Like when you have the rating system of stars, you can't give 0 stars. You have to give 1 star.
Why can't you give 0 stars?
Fine, give it.
I allow it, Lisa.
Okay. 0 out of 10 fetuses. Because no fetus deserved this.
Fair.
Wait, so no fetus deserved it. So like what if they would have like properly got rid of the fetus?
I came up with the best award. Just the two of us. Award goes to the mom and the fetus in the asylum. Sorry, go ahead.
So the fetus is Willow Smith?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
Yeah.
You're fine.
So I've only given 1 in my entire. I'm usually more positive on movies. I've only given 1, and it was to Thanksgiving. So I'm going to give this movie 1.1 umbilical cords. Just higher.
So you like this better than Thanksgiving?
A little bit.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
At least Thanksgiving had some clever lines. This was just
Yeah.
terrible. Oh, all right.
I liked it a little bit better.
I think my review can best and my score can best be summed up with the following.
You are thinking of seeing this film,
Don't. 0 out of 10 dildos.
No, man. Wow. I didn't know we could give zeros. I think I retroactively gave Thanksgiving a 0. So if taking that into account, I'm going to give this like, hold on, like how long in the birthing process was this? So 0.666 is what I'm going to give this because it was in the second of 3 trimesters. So.
That's what you want to roll with.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, 0.666.
Okie doke. That is certainly a score you can give. Yeah. This movie is just unredeemably bad.
I can't believe Bloody Disgusting recommended this. That person was like high.
Had to have been.
The person had to have been. Something was like wrong. Like
they paid them.
Medication.
They were like, we're going to bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just give this guy $100. We're going to bounce back.
The Suckling lobby is paying big money for advertising.
Everyone forgot this movie existed, so maybe we can get a new viewership.
I mean, if you just enjoy absurd movies.
This is beyond terror. The redeeming qualities are little to none. There is some ridiculousness that I kind of was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Yeah. But in general, it's just shitty.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode.
Remember, wrap it up.
Right. Absolutely. True words have not been spoken in some time. Nate, where can they find us?
Yes, you can find us at our website, TexasPodcastMassacre.com. You can tweet us at TXPodMassacre on Twitter. You can check us out at our Facebook page. You can see our podcast on Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and all the other podcast platforms.
All right. Well, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacred, thank you so much for listening, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.
Wow.